right, maybe we'll just get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6 Degrees of Feature Film podcast. I'm Ava, also known as Brienne, also known as Ms. Movies.
And I'm StacyOHoward, also known as Dancing Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love Dancing Oscar Isaac.
He's the best. When he does his like little scooch move. Oh, it's
and the
great.
Ring My Bell move. That's another one that I like that they do. Yeah,
nice.
If you haven't guessed it already, we're talking Ex Machina today. Yeah, very exciting. And for those that are watching live, we are doing this live on YouTube via a Google Hangout, and thanks to all 2 viewers that are showing up right now. But we didn't really announce it, so it says episode 47, which you're thinking yesterday was episode like 42. We're actually doing this so we can like bank it and hold on to it, and then we'll release it when it's time. So you guys get like the sneak preview, and then it'll be released later. That's how that works.
That sounds fun. That's like having perks.
Kind of. It's almost like a Patreon perk. Maybe one day we'll do Patreon. I'm just not quite ready for it.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
And I'm like, maybe we'll get $3.
Yeah.
You know, because we want lights and
lighting, sound.
Yeah, we're at a neighbor's house right now also. That's why we don't have any posters. This is really makeshift today. But anyways.
Who cares? We're doing it. It's not high tech. It's not like Ex Machina, our feature film.
I was just trying to figure out how I can pull up the chat. Haven't figured that out either yet.
No idea.
Sorry.
Literally no idea how to do that.
So we can't interact with you right now.
Who cares?
There'll be a time.
There will be a time.
There's no guest today, just Stacy and I.
Nope, just us, little old us. I found a Wonder Woman shirt. Yes. I'm going to stick my boobs in the frame.
Oh, there you go.
Wonder Woman! Nice. It's like she's talking to you guys. La la la. That was lovely, wasn't it?
That was good. That was as good as Oscar Isaac's dance.
It was.
In Ex Machina. All right, so here's how the show works. It's called 6 Degrees of Feature Film. We take one film and we show how 6 other films link up to it. So we're talking a total of 7 films. And our feature film today, the one that we're going to link off all the other films, is Ex Machina.
So exciting.
Which came out April 24th, 2015. It's about a young programmer who's selected to participate in a groundbreaking experiment in synthetic intelligence by evaluating the human qualities of a breathtaking humanoid AI. Whoever wrote that did a really nice job.
They sure did. They didn't give away too many things. They didn't give away a lot of the plot. They just kind of said basically what's going on in this film. And this is one of my favorite movies that came out that year. And it was released by A24, which that production company has released some of my favorite indie films of like the past few years.
28 Days Later is one of my favorites as well. Sunshine actually was pretty good. I mean, Chris Evans is in that, so
I haven't seen Sunshine. It's funny you mentioned 28 Days Later though, because the director Alex Garland, he wasn't the director of 28 Days Later. This is Ex Machina is actually his first directed film. He was like cinematographer, I think, on 28 Days Later on Dread, which Carl Urban, hello, wonderful. So yeah, this is his first movie though. That's a pretty incredible feat.
It is. We have starring in this Alicia Vikander, Donald Gleason, Oscar Isaac, as well as a few other people. Who do you think? Personally, I think the standout in this is Oscar Isaac.
Oh, for sure.
Donald Gleason, or however you say his name.
I think it's Donal.
Donal.
Yeah, Donal Gleason is super adorable in this.
Donut Gleason.
Glazed donut. Donut glazed.
No.
Gleason.
Glazed Gleason? Donut Glazed Gleason? Hashtag.
I love Oscar Isaac so much. He absolutely is my favorite. And he's my guy. You know, he's my favorite actor working today.
Is he?
Yes. He is super talented, very versatile. I'm just very captivated by him on screen. I have been since I saw him in Sucker Punch, which I know was not everyone loves that movie, but he's always just had this presence where I'm like, whether he's the bad guy or the good guy or the hero or the villain or whatever, I just have always wanted him to succeed at whatever it is that he's doing. So like, I know he was a bad guy in Sucker Punch and he was like, you know, basically like a pimp and like sexually assaulting these women, and that's horrible. But like he had emotion about it, and I like kind of wanted him to like be happy and not succeed at what he was doing, obviously. But I wanted him to win a little bit because I like him.
I want to see Inside Llewyn Davis, which I haven't seen.
It's great.
But I know that that's he carries that film because he's the lead character. He's Llewyn Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I need to see. And I also want to see Justin Timberlake in that.
He's good. He's definitely great.
He's getting a lot better.
He
since
is,
Model Behavior.
I still haven't seen Model Behavior. I don't plan on seeing it.
You should.
I still think that Tyra Banks' movie where she plays a Barbie doll, it's coming to life. Life size, yes.
With
Shine bright, shine, star, heated hit, where you are, get up, dinner, be a star.
Wait, where are we? What are we doing?
Oh,
okay. So back to Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
And the standout also, Alicia Vikander. I mean, I can't forget about her. This is like her big, like, this is, hello, America. I'm Alicia Vikander.
Hello, this is me. Excuse me. Yeah, she had a very difficult role in this because she has to play a robot, you know, a being, you know, an object, but it has artificial intelligence. So she's like a child. She's learning and growing. She has emotion and learning what that means and interacting with Donald Gleason's character. You have to go through a wide range of everything. And I thought she nailed it. She did a great job.
She did. I was just reading that Oscar Isaac based his character off of Stanley Kubrick and Bobby Fischer. How random is that?
That is super funny.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, I guess Stanley Kubrick, maybe I understand.
Well, Stanley Kubrick was a literal genius. He had an IQ of 185, I think, and he was obviously incredibly intelligent, but a very difficult person to be around and work with and work for. And he had a vision, he had an idea, and he would not deter from that in any way. And he had such an intense personality, and so it makes sense that, you know, this character would have been modeled after him. I can definitely see that.
Sure.
Who's Bobby Fischer?
Bobby Fischer is like a young child who's like a prodigy at chess. That's one thing that he was a prodigy at. There's like that movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, and there's a few different Bobby Fischer.
Is that a documentary?
No. I'm sure they have a documentary on him as well, but yeah, child prodigy.
When was that from? Like, when was he a prodigy?
I don't know when he was a prodigy. That movie was probably 90s, early 90s, I would say.
Okay.
Kind of around Little Man Tate times. Around those same area.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to watch it.
You should watch it.
I should.
This is the lowest grossing Oscar winner for Best Visual Effects since What Dreams May Come in 1998.
Nice.
Did you see What Dreams May Come? I didn't
idea.
I didn't catch that one.
No idea what that movie is.
What I like about Ex Machina, though, I thought it was really interesting, the idea, and I had a feeling that he was baited for the project. Like, they specifically wanted him. It wasn't necessarily that he won something, and everything that he goes through. I love how in the beginning it's like, we've been over this property for about 3 hours now. I'm like, wow, okay. He obviously owns an island of some sort.
Yeah, it's this big mystery. I mean, he seems like this normal guy, but he's obviously this weird, eccentric, billionaire, reclusive person, and you don't know what to expect when you get there. And he's not what you expect. And it's not how we're used to Oscar Isaac looking. He's like bald and jacked with this huge beard, and he looks very, very different from what we're used to. And I liked that a lot.
I like to think that this is, instead of Stanley Kubrick and Bobby Fischer, this is Bill Gates and I can't even think of the Facebook guy's name, Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. I don't think they're quite as jacked, you know, quite as alcoholic, maybe.
We don't know, though.
We don't. Could be. They could be. Yeah, they could. They could just be, you know, doing shots and working out in their living rooms. Who knows? Their lives are a mystery. It's super crazy. You know, Felicity Jones was almost Ava.
I could see that.
I could definitely see that.
Anyone else?
I can't remember if I read about anybody else that almost did it. But I know that I read a little bit of interesting trivia because I wanted to read this because every time I hear Ex Machina, I'm confused about what it means. So Ex Machina means God from the machine in Greek tragedies, where after a plane God would So a God would descend from this platform above and kind of solve all the problems, explain the plot, explain everything, and then leave you with a happy ending. So Ex Machina is basically like here's the solution to everything here.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like, ding, you know, like, oh, well, that was convenient, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, based on that, it doesn't necessarily end that way.
It definitely doesn't. But that's what the phrase Ex Machina means. And I hear it all the time in CinemaSins.
I mean, maybe it ends that way for one character.
Yeah. Well,
definitely.
someone wins in this. It's
Someone.
It's their victory. But you don't know who. Are we going to spoil it? No. We can't spoil it. No. You guys seriously need to watch. Seriously, every single movie from A24 I have loved. The Witch, Almost Violent Year. This movie, there's also like American Honey is coming out. I just saw Green Room. Like, it's fucking incredible what they're doing. Great. Green Room was incredible. Patrick Stewart is like a neo-Nazi murderer in a yes. Give it to me all the time, Sir Patrick Stewart. Anything you want.
So from there, we're gonna move it on to our link, and I believe the link is robots in movies. Is that what we said?
Robots or AI?
Or AI. We'll do either one.
Mm-hmm.
Either one works. So I'm gonna go first.
You go ahead.
I picked Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which came out April 29th, 2005. And the reason I like this robot/AI in this movie is because it's depressed. And it's also voiced by Alan Rickman. And Warwick Davis is inside of the outfit. So there you go.
Is he?
Yes.
Warwick Davis getting work all the time. I love it. Have you seen his show, Life's Too Short, on HBO? Oh my God. It's incredible. Well,
that's hilarious play on words there.
Yes. No, it's perfect. It's basically like a mockumentary. And so it's kind of an exaggerated version of his real life, which is that he's a performer. And I believe he also is an incredible advocate for the little people community and little people performers, and he represents them. I think he's an agent. He owns a company. And so he does that along with his own career and struggles in both areas. And he has this incredible actress that plays his assistant who is absolutely ridiculous and like an alien. Like, she doesn't behave normally. Ricky Gervais and Liam Neeson and all these people that he's friends with in real life make cameos, and it's great. It is an incredible show. Watch it. Life's Too Short. It's on HBO. I know you have HBO. Someone's HBO Go password. Just watch it. Someone's, not your own, because who has their own HBO account?
I did.
Who could afford that? You had mine for a while,
and
then it kicked you out.
Then it kicked me out, and then I got my own, and then I canceled it after Game of Thrones, because that's what you do, and then you bring it back when Game of Thrones comes back. So that's how that works. But if you have not seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it is, I'll give you the little synopsis on it. Mere seconds before Earth is to be demolished by an alien construction crew, journeyman Arthur Dent is swept off the planet by his friend Ford Prefect, a researcher penning a new edition of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is directed by Garth Jennings, who also did Son of Rambo. Did you see that one?
No, I think I missed this one.
I've heard good things about it.
Have we?
Written by Douglas Adams. I really liked this movie. This was one of the films. Here's how I ended up seeing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's kind of an interesting story here. So we went to see XXX, but it was the second one, the one with Ice Cube, not with Vin Diesel. So we were gonna.
Ice Cube was in a XXX movie?
Yes, he was. What? So what happened was we bought the tickets for that movie thinking it was at one time, but then they like switched the time. So they gave us the tickets. We walked in, we thought that we were supposed to go to the theater that we were supposed to see it in, and it was like pretty much over. And we were like, okay, obviously we have, the time's wrong in our head, and obviously the ticket said the right time. So then we go into, we're like, all right, we're here. It's going to be a while till the next movie. Why don't we just go into another movie theater and watch another movie? And that other movie was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it was just starting. And I was so pleased with seeing this film and not seeing XXX with Ice Cube.
But if you were going to see that movie,
this is a film that actually, when it came out on DVD, I bought it. And I showed it to my parents, and I don't think they laughed once. They said it wasn't funny, and I was like, oh, that's when I realized, like, my parents and I do not have the same taste in film. That was the first time I realized, oh, we don't like the same things.
We don't find the same things funny. I've run into this problem many times with my friends because I will say things like, we should all watch Showgirls. It's hilarious. And then as two women scissor on a stripper stage, they're just mortified. And I'm like, I can see how you don't find this funny. I find it hilarious. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I feel you on that. Isn't it heartbreaking when you like a movie and you introduce it to other people and they don't like it the way that you like it?
It is.
It really hurts. It hurts inside.
We want to know your stories about that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us your stories? Like, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Or if you are listening to us on iTunes, put it in the iTunes comments.
Yes.
I want to know what movie you've introduced to someone that they didn't like and you just thought, oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All right.
But anyways, Martin Freeman is in this. Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell was my favorite part of this movie.
Love Sam Rockwell so much.
Mos Def, Zooey Deschanel, Bill Nye, John Malkovich.
Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Bill. Not that Bill.
No? Different Bill.
You know, Love Actually.
From Love Actually and from Underworld.
Anything that's British.
Anything British, yes. Shaun of the Dead. He's great in Shaun of the Dead. I always quote Shaun of the Dead, his little line where he's like, "I'm quite all right, Barbara. I ran under a cold tap." The way he says it, I don't know. I laugh every time.
This movie is the 9th version of The Hitchhiker's Guide. It's previously appeared as a radio series, 2 record albums, novels, a television series, which was in 1981, a computer game, a stage show, a comic book, a video game. Let's see.
What was
and a towel, apparently.
A towel.
But also,
get high?
Dirk Gently is coming out, and that is a show that is Max Landis is the writer and showrunner for that, and that is based on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, another part of it.
Wow, that's cool.
So there you go. That's coming out soon. We're gonna check that out.
Yeah,
Elijah Wood is in it.
Shut the fuck up. I love
all
Elijah
our favorites. All our favorites.
He was your boyfriend at one point,
I know.
wasn't he?
I know, guys.
They almost went out, like on a real date. Like for reals. Not fake. Not like my dates with Oscar Isaac.
Anyways.
Could have been.
So that's what I got. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I, just ended that, and Stacy took a sip of her drink. So now we have to wait.
I wanted an awkward pause.
Okay.
I wanted a pregnant pause as we all wait for me to gulp. I don't care. All right, mine is one of my favorite movies that I've seen about love and relationships. Her.
Didn't see it.
What?
Yeah, didn't see it.
Oh, I haven't seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay,
so we have not seen either of those movies. So here's Her.
I have homework to do.
Me too. Now, Her came out in 2013. A lonely writer develops an unlikely relationship with his newly purchased operating system that's designed to meet his every need. This movie is one of the truest representations of love, relationships, loss, the difficulties you go through in getting to know someone new and trying to fall in love, and how scary it is and enticing it is. And it's just with a voice. You only hear, you only hear Samantha, her voice. There's no physical interaction. And the way that they choose to set up this world is incredible, because yes, it's the future where there are operating systems that have AI. And you can fall in love with them in relationships and form friendships, and they can fall in love with each other, and there's all kinds of stuff that can happen. And it's obviously not in the real world yet. It is set in a future society, but there's very subtle hints to that. It's not like look, it's the future, everything is on TV and the screen and the touch screen. Like he doesn't do that. It's all still very grounded and feels very tangible, very real, like it could be within the next 10 years. I believe they filmed it in Tokyo. And they didn't set the language, or they didn't make it seem like it was Tokyo. They made it seem like it was like San Francisco or something, because everyone, spoke English, and there was no, Japanese writing or anything. But it does feel that way, because Tokyo is kind of set up like that. It's very, very tech driven. Yeah. And everyone has, kind of like that's like the future, like that, the next best thing, they always have it first. And so it's how it kind of feels that way. But then it's not it's not really that setting. So there's the world he sets it up in is so beautiful and lovely and light and real and sad. And it's such a Spike Jonze film. Spike Jonze, who obviously also directed Adaptation, Being John Malkovich, Where the Wild Things Are, is such a gorgeous director. Like, his stories are so genuine and sweet, and you just want to like curl up with them and cry and laugh, and it has so many emotions that go with it. And whenever you see him, is like he plays a cameo like Wolf of Wall Street. He's like the man that Leonardo DiCaprio meets when he first goes to the, you know, janky little setup shop for his new job as a stockbroker. He's such a sweet little guy.
Yeah. I feel like her could definitely, I mean, it works in the real world. I mean, we have internet relationships all the time.
Hello, catfish.
So I feel like that's not really that big of a stretch that he's fallen in love with this AI because the AI interacts with him. And so I don't know.
Nere's the thing,
I
though.
mean, how is the other person on the other side of the screen, you know, actually real? Like, how do we know?
Here's the thing, and that's, they never really, or it is an issue in their relationship. They do bring it up, but not in the sense that like, you're a machine. It's like, you're not here with me. You don't have a body. And she's like, what do you mean? I know I don't have a body. I know my limitations. Like, she is a genuine person too, and they have real arguments, and she doesn't argue with him as a machine would, like, well, you're being illogical. She gets angry. She gets upset. She'll leave the conversation and like turn off her system, and he'll be like, where did she go? Like, they have fights like a real couple. And then there's also a very awkward and hilarious scene where she hires a woman to basically be like her surrogate, like a physical body for her. And so she puts a little mole on, and it's like a camera, so that Samantha, the AI, the operating system, can see Joaquin Phoenix, and she'll be like talking in his ear. And so it's like he's making out with her, but it's not really, because it's another one. It's so funny. It is so, and she gets upset. It's
weird.
So weird and hilarious. And the
wait, did Samantha find the woman for him?
Yes.
Oh wow.
She had been emailing. That's what I'm saying, though. They treat her like she's a real person. She has her own life. She has her own friends. She is becoming friends with other operating systems. She's becoming friends with other people. She'll introduce people to him. I mean, it's Chris Pratt is in it as this adorable little guy from The Office. It just, because Joaquin Phoenix's job is he writes love letters. So people now in this, you know, set up future, write love letters to each other, but they'll have someone else do it. And so that's his job. Is he's a beautiful writer. He's a very emotional person. And Chris Pratt loves his letters. He like works in The Office. And so he has a relationship, and everyone's relationships are just they're so tangible. They're so real. They seem so genuine. And I've never seen love represented so well in a movie before, besides something like you know, like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where it's like their fights are very genuine. You know, the reasons why they hate each other and why they love each other and why they always come back together are very real. This movie also presents it, but it's like it has this little glossy sheen to it, because it's like future, you know, future Tokyo / San Francisco, amazing world, but they don't, like, that doesn't matter. They don't talk about it. It's not about the technology. Nothing is explained. It matters so little to everything. It's just about the relationships. I love her. It's so good. Oh my gosh, wait. It wasn't Tokyo, it was Shanghai. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
Hashtag fake facts.
Hashtag fake facts. So sorry. Okay. And then also there's really funny scenes too that represent how people have relationships and sex today online. He goes into like a chat room, like everyone has like a little thing in their ear they can kind of put in there, and like, you know, it's kind of like its own little Siri. And so he'll be like, you know, do chat room. And then he's like, you know, alone in bed looking for someone, send. And then it'll have all these different people coming.
Send.
Woo, send. All these different people coming in. And there's this one lady that wants you to like strangle her with her cat or something, like beat her with a dead cat, all kinds of weird stuff. And it's Kristen Wiig.
Wow.
Is that sexy kitten.
I'm not surprised.
Yes. Super, super funny. And also Amy and Joaquin, Spike Jonze would lock them in a room together. and for like scenes and force them to talk, so they would like get to know each other because they have this beautiful friendship in the movie. And they would be, it'd be a very emotional scene. It might be very intense. So then they would sing songs together to kind of pep each other up and just get through the hard times. We do. We definitely do that. So they would sing Annie together was one of their favorite ones. So
like, the sun will come out tomorrow.
Yeah, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom, da, da. We're not gonna sing the whole song. But yeah, so that was super cute. Can you picture?
I like it.
Can you picture Joaquin Phoenix being like, tomorrow?
Only in that makeup that he's wearing, for sure. Although, he's a pretty good singer. I mean, Walk the Line.
Yeah.
He did all that singing.
Yeah.
So.
Why doesn't he do another singing one? I still can't stop picturing him in that I'm Still Here. It was fake documentary he made. What a bunch of bullshit that was. It was so funny. I want to watch it again.
So we went from Ex Machina. From there, we went to robots/AI in film and did Her, as well as Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Off of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, my link is inventions in film. Like the best inventions in film. Now, or inventions that I would like to see in real life. But what I did is I set a little parameter for that. Obviously, I didn't choose anything from Back to the Future or Star Wars because those are just too obvious. I wanted to go with a little bit more niche. So the inventions that they have that I really liked in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they have Babelfish, where it's like he couldn't understand this group of monsters or aliens, I should say. And so they put this Babelfish in his ear, and then he can understand what they're saying. It translates for him, which is awesome. And we're actually really close to this right now. I don't know if you know this. We're really close to this Babelfish shit being real. So anyways, there's that. There's also the knife that toasts bread. I swear that Nerdist posted something about this knife that toasts bread on their Twitter today. And saying this is an actual invention that is working. It's kind of like a mini lightsaber. And then they have the point of view gun. I would love that in my house, because what happens is at one point in the movie, they have the point of view gun. And so Zoe Deschanel's character is hitting it at Sam Rockwell, and he finally understands her because he doesn't know where she's coming from. And then he goes to use it on her, and she goes, it's not going to work on me because I'm already a woman. I can see your point of view.
That's perfect. That is amazing.
And then
why isn't this real?
Then they also have this thing called the craving tool or something, where you put your face in this thing and then it knows what food you're craving and it makes that food for you, and then it comes out.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
So here is a movie that has a great invention that I think is a fun one in film, and that's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids from June 23rd, 1989.
Nice.
The scientist's father of a teenage girl and boy accidentally shrinks his and two other neighbor teens to the size of insects. Now the teens must fight diminutive dangers as the father searches for them. This was directed by Joe Johnston, who also did Captain America, the First Avenger, as well as Jumanji.
What?
And October Sky. I love October Sky. We should talk about that one day. Writers Stuart Gordon and Brian Yuzna. Sorry about that, Brian. Starring Rick Moranis as Wayne Zielinski. Oh, yeah, he's gone. He had to take care of his wife, so he left show business. But maybe he will come back sometime. There's a lot of other people in this movie, but no names that I really recognized. So, yeah, he's the main one.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any kind of, none of the child stars broke out and they're not Pretty Little Liars or something.
No.
Oh, shit. That's kind of sad.
If you watch it back today, though, I don't think it holds up. The CGI that they use is not great.
No. But remember how fun this movie was?
Yes.
And I also remember going
to Orlando.
Yes.
And going through all the little ant areas.
Yes. Yeah. That was incredibly fun.
It was.
I feel like everyone made a pilgrimage there to be it's just like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
It was.
Yeah.
I think I went there when I was maybe 3rd or 4th grade.
I was little. I was 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was so fun. I want to go back. Is it still there?
I doubt it.
Damn.
It's one of those things where they change it to go with the times, right? So the treehouse at Disneyland is now Tarzan. When it was Swiss Family Robinson, which I love Swiss Family Robinson.
We used to watch that when I was little.
It was great.
Yes, it was incredible. And
they
we
were going to
wanted
remake it. They were. It's been like in development hell. I don't know if they'll ever do it.
They should. The original one was great. And I remember watching it, and then we told our dad, we were like, so you can like make that treehouse, right? Like we can just live in a treehouse. Because we grew up in the country. I grew up in Texas, in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, with only a few houses around us. So we had lots and lots of land and lots of like, forest behind us. And we could have made it. Like it was a reality. But, carpentry's hard, I guess. Who knows? My dad failed us. It's fine.
In an early version of the script, apparently, there were 5 kids, and one of them died during the sprinkler sequence. That would make it pretty dark.
That would make it really dark. What, did they like drown in the sprinkler?
Aw.
Oh my God.
Chevy Chase and John Candy also turned down roles of Wayne Szalinski. Candy did suggest Rick Moranis for the role, though. And
nice.
This also happened when Moranis was offered Ghostbusters. Like someone recommended him. And then they went to him and said, hey, you want to be in this movie?
Because John Candy was supposed to be in Ghostbusters, right?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Things we learn.
There you go. Just have John Candy almost in your movie, and he'll suggest you.
There you go. That's what you need. James Horner scored this film, and I'm like, oh, James Horner, I love you.
Oh.
I wouldn't think that you scored this film, but hey, we all got to start somewhere.
That's true. That's definitely true.
When I saw this in theaters, which I did see in theaters, it had an animated short before it, and it's called Tummy Trouble. And it was basically like, it was with Roger Rabbit. Like it was Roger Rabbit characters, like the baby from Roger Rabbit. Jessica Rabbit was in it. Roger obviously was in it. So it like went along with that. Because of the success of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they're like, let's continue this.
Let's do this.
Let's get this money train going.
Yep.
And then they just kind of let it go. Today, they'd probably have like a ton of sequels for Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Sure. And spin-offs and a Netflix TV series, which I'm not against because Netflix always kills it with their TV series.
Yeah.
Still waiting for the Practical Magic one. Hello. You got Sandy Bowles and Nicole right here.
I am looking forward to Son of Zorn.
I keep seeing posters for that. What is that?
Okay, it's like it's almost like Thor, married a woman, a human, and then they had a human child, and then Zorn was off, because he's like a prince of whatever place.
Is Zorn the child or the dad?
No, Zorn is the dad.
Oh, okay.
And then he comes back to help raise his son, who's now like, an 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old, and it's hilarious. I saw a panel for this, and Cheryl Hines was on the panel. It was great.
My God. I keep seeing posters, haven't seen anything for it. Is it out yet? When does it come out?
I don't think it comes out yet, and I feel like it's a network, but I don't know. I don't know which network.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Sorry, guys. Check
Good
that
to know.
out. So, yes. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh. One of my favorites from when I was little.
And then the next one, I'm just going to go right into it. Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs.
What? So classic.
Okay, so they
fun.
have the, gosh, I'm going to forget his, invention right away. The Flint Lockwood Diatonic Super Mutating Dynamic Food Replicator.
What?
Flibimus is what they call it.
Is there a preliminary plan yet?
This is September 19th, 2009. It's about a local scientist who is often regarded as a failure until he invents a machine that can make food fall from the sky. But little does he know that things are about to take a turn for the worst. Directed and written by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who did the Lego Movie and all those other great things.
Awesome.
Starring the voices of Bill Hader, Anna Faris, James Caan, Andy Samberg, Bruce Campbell, Mr. T, Benjamin Bratt, Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh my gosh.
The budget was $100 million, which seems kind of crazy for an
animated film. Yeah, it's
but
probably all the marketing.
The box office made $243 million.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, I remember Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs, the first one, being wonderful. Like a wonderful, great little surprise. You're like, I genuinely, shockingly love this movie. And then the second one was kind of like they went into all, they had like poop jokes and like, it was like little kid jokes. Like it wasn't for adults and kids.
I didn't really watch the second one. I saw the first one. We own the first one. I think we probably own the second one too, but my kids love the first one. And I love the book. The book was great. I used to read it to my class.
Oh, that was like, I mean, everyone's favorite like third grade book. We all did projects and, you know, made little collages with food, and it was all about, you know, cloudy. So it was great.
I was surprised that it was going to be, I was like, they're making a movie out of that? Okay. We'll see
and
how
it was
happens.
awesome. It was awesome.
This is one of Josh Tapia's favorite animated films.
Really?
Yes. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
Also, happy belated birthday if you're listening to this later. So there you go.
Sorry. Awesome. Well, that sounds fun. I love your picks. That is a very interesting topic. Mine isn't quite as interesting.
Okay.
But I feel like my picks are going to be like, she picked that? That's super, super odd. Okay, so mine is going to be movies where relationships have extreme obstacles.
Okay.
So obviously in Her, they have a giant obstacle between them, which is she is an AI, she's an operating system, and he is a human with a body, and they can't be physically together. So my two movies I picked, one is a movie from 2003 that came out that I had never heard of. I remember catching it on like, I don't know, HBO one time with some of my girlfriends. We were like, this movie is adorable and fun. How does no one know about this? Down with Love.
Okay, two thoughts. Is it the Julia Stiles movie or is it the Renee Zellweger movie?
It's the Renee Zellweger movie.
What's the Julia Stiles movie that I'm thinking of with Freddie Prinze Jr. and it's like food?
Julia Stiles? Are you thinking of Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No, that's a different one. That's Simply Irresistible.
Yeah, Simply Irresistible is great.
But this one that I'm thinking with Julia Stiles and Freddie Prinze Jr. has like some sort of like food component to it, like they're chefs. I'm gonna figure this out, guys.
I don't know about that one.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Are you sure you're not talking about No Reservations with Catherine Zeta-Jones?
You go ahead and get started with Down with Love.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna figure out what this is.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I do.
I don't think that is a movie. I think she's making it up. But this movie is definitely not made up. Here are my notes. It's from 2003. It's New York City, 1962. Love is blooming between a journalist and feminist advice author who's falling head over heels despite her beau's playboy lifestyle. So it's directed by Peyton Reed, who obviously directed Ant-Man, Yes Man, and Bring It On, one of your favorites. Stars Renee Zellweger, Ewan McGregor, one of my Hollywood crushes, who's an incredible person. Sarah Paulson, David Hyde Pierce, Rachel Dratch. So it's set in the 60s. It's an homage to the 50s and 60s kind of screwball comedies. It has like the split screens. It's all the world is very perfect. It's very do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. And all the costumes were handmade specifically for the actors. Everything is so colorful and lively and fun, and it's all these like little sexual innuendos and very much like, you know, back in the day when in the 50s and 60s when they wanted to talk about sex and relationships, but it was still taboo. You weren't really allowed to say it. You had all these little phrases and little hints to it where you're like, is that what I'm talking about? And so this movie is full of that. I love it. It's so different from everything today and so fun and just it's kind of naughty. You feel like you're like reading like a naughty little play or something. Like it's so cool and so not what we're used to today, which is, you know, everyone being super raunchy and just kind of putting it all out there. This is very much, it's kind of like hidden and like a little, you know, like a little curtain is in front of you. Like, oh, I can't say it, but I can hint at it. And I think it's super cute and super adorable. And everyone's very, very likable, very lovable. And it has an interesting message to it about, so basically Renee Zellweger writes a book, Down with Love, basically telling women you don't need to fall in love to, you know, complete yourself or have fun. You can, you know, have sex with men. Yeah, it's very progressive. And it just, I mean, it's like 50 Shades of Grey. It just burst all over the world. Hundreds of millions of copies sold.
And then he's like, I'm going to make her fall in love with me, right?
Well,
it's kind of, it has,
and he's a journalist, so it is kind of a mistaken identity.
It's almost like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the reverse.
Yeah. Well, it's
better.
And so after this, there's all these women that are like having these great relationships because they're like, I'm just going to have fun, or I'm going to have sex, or I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I don't need a man to do all this. And so everyone else is succeeding in taking her advice. But because she has written this book, she can't really get a man anymore or get a date because every guy is like, you know, so kind of upset with this new wave of like
feminism.
And so she is like, I need to date a man who hasn't read my book yet. And then Ewan McGregor's character is a journalist, wants to interview her and wants to keep meeting her, and then decides to pretend to be an astronaut who's been in space and hasn't read her book or heard of her. And so then they meet, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I actually met a man who hasn't heard of me and hasn't heard of all this. And so it's a whole mistaken identities thing, and it's such a cute, colorful movie.
I like when they do the diagonal screen, so they're talking on the telephone.
That one's super cute. That one, and they're like, he's like doing push-ups, and it's so funny.
Guys, I figured out what that movie was. It's called Down to You. So not Down with Love. Down to You is the movie with Julia Stiles and Freddie Prinze Jr.
What is the food aspect of it?
Okay, all I know, here's the synopsis, if you will. A young man wins and loses the first serious love of his life. Al Connolly falls in love with the girl of his dreams. After the summer, breaks up with, okay, this doesn't have anything to do with food. But it does.
But they're chefs?
There is a chef component. They're like in a kitchen in this picture that I'm looking at right now.
I don't think this is a real
movie.
There
is a chef component.
This isn't a movie. This isn't real.
There's food involved.
I'd rather watch No Reservations.
Probably. Okay, anyways, I just wanted to explain that. What is your next film?
My other film is a Woody Allen film. One of the lesser viewed ones, Vicky, Christina, Barcelona.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's one of my favorite Penelope Cruz performances. I believe she actually won the Oscar for this film. It came out in 2008. Two friends on a summer holiday in Spain become enamored with the same painter, unaware that his ex-wife, whom he has a tempestuous relationship with, is about to enter the picture. So it stars Rebecca Hall, Scarlett Johansson, Javier Bardem, and Penelope Cruz, who, she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Basically, so Rebecca Hall and ScarJo are BFFs. Rebecca Hall is going to get married. Scarlett Johansson she's going there for school, but she also wants to be a photographer. She's kind of a wanderer, you know. Yeah. She's one of those women she's an artist, and she's beautiful and captivating, and she can kind of just, I'm going to go for a summer holiday. And then you go there and you meet a man and you can stay in his villa all summer and not have to do anything. Like one of those very infuriating people. Yeah, like me. I totally do that. I did study abroad in Barcelona. Didn't meet a man who supported me financially and allowed me to just take painting, take photographs in the streets. But so they're there for a holiday. They meet Javier Bardem. ScarJo is like, this man he's a painter and artist, and that, he feeds my soul, and I'm going to go have a love affair with him. So they go off. Rebecca Hall is still doing her schooling thing. And then Penelope Cruz comes to the photo, and Penelope Cruz, Scarlett Johansson, and Javier Bardem basically start having a relationship together. And it's all about just kind of the dynamics of love and the balance. And Penelope Cruz, the reason why I love this movie is because of Penelope Cruz's performance. Everyone else's performance are kind of normal and just kind of one note, but Penelope Cruz comes in and she's this gorgeous.
Vicky, Christina?
She is no. Christina is ScarJo. Okay. Vicky is Rebecca Hall. Penelope Cruz's name in the movie is Magdalena, maybe. Okay. So she comes in and is just this. Probably manic depressive, gorgeous, throwing things, screaming, loving, crying, everything, just every emotion you can ever think of for a person, and just has this incredible performance. And the conversation, you first introduce her, and she's she was gonna kill herself because she broke up. It's Javier Bardem's ex-wife. She's gonna kill herself, and then she comes to the house in the middle of the night, and they're having this screaming fight in the kitchen, and it's some of the best acting I've ever seen from her. And they're speaking in both English and Spanish. And so it's going back and forth. And poor Scarlett Johansson is like just standing there like, who is this woman in my kitchen? And you don't know the relationship that Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz have had, you know, in the past, but you know that it must have been something crazy. And as you progress through she's just incredible. She's so, I love Penelope Cruz. She's so gorgeous. She is. And she definitely deserved the Oscar for this movie. If you haven't seen it, it's one of those movies that I watch over and over again, and I'll find like little moments throughout it, and it looks beautiful, and I don't quite know what it's trying to say about love. Maybe that it's crazy and you do crazy things, but then you eventually just kind of end up doing what you always do. Like people kind of go back to their routines eventually.
Just like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
You keep coming back to the same person. You do the same shit over and over again. You have the same problems and the same arguments, and nothing ever changes. And it's just how you feel. It's how life is. Yeah. Maybe that's the message of it. I don't know. But yeah. And very so nice. that was the big obstacle, was that it was like this weird threesome thing where you have this other person that balances, but once another person leaves, then it doesn't work anymore. And
I like it.
There you go.
So we went from Ex Machina. From there, we did robots and/or AI in film with her, as well as Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Off of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I did inventions in film that I appreciate with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, as well as Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And off of her,
I did movies where relationships have extreme obstacles. The first was Down with Love, and the second was Vicky, Christina, Barcelona.
So now we're coming to the end of our podcast where we do movie link tweets. I tweet out what is, off of our first link, what is your favorite robot/AI in film or movies that have robots or AI? And I got a few back. Ben Bellevue says Wall-E. Albert Duong and Jeff Rossman say Short Circuit. Jeffrey says Ex Machina. Egyptian Polymath says AI and Bicentennial Man. Stephen Malofsky says The Terminator 1 and 2. Star Trek First Contact, Alien, Star Wars. Is this supposed to be your favorite?
Pick one,
just
guys.
One. Just one. Corey Wagner says 2001: A Space Odyssey. Michael E. Devine says Blade Runner. And Angelo says Moon.
Never saw it. Okay, so now we're going to link it back to Kevin Bacon, because we always do, and we love Kevin Bacon. So Kevin Bacon was in R.I.P.D. with Jeff Bridges, who was in Seventh Son with Alicia Vikander, who was the star of Ex Machina. So there you go. That was a good short little one.
Yeah, and here's our favorite segment.
Okay.
Would Ex Machina be better with Rocky? So we're going to have Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, as Nathan, played by Oscar Isaac, in AI.
Yes, here we go.
One day the AIs are going to look back on us the same way we look at fossil skeletons on the plains of Africa. An upright ape living in dust with crude language and tools. Yo, all set for extinction!
There we go.
I love it.
There we go. That's it. Okay.
Very nice. Well, good. I'm glad we did this today.
Yeah, me too. This was fun.
I had a good time.
Yeah. Let's pick a cool setting next time and have some posters behind us.
I hope so. We should have Erica on next.
We
Erica
should.
Ishii,
Yes.
Queen of Geek and Sundry. She's there all the time.
She's our fave. I know she loves my snacks, so I'll bring her some next time to coax her. Super excited about that. Super excited. Did I tell you I just saw Kubo last night?
Oh, I want to see that.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my god. We might talk about that. Who knows? I don't know. Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and watching.
Yeah.
We love you. Leave us a comment. Rate us on iTunes because we need those ratings.
Yep. Good ratings. All right. Bye, guys.
We'll see you next time. Oh, wait. You know what? Where can we find you, Stacey?
Shit. You can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012 all the time.
Very good.
Where can we find you?
You can find me in my neighbor's dining room and/or online on Twitter at Miss Movies.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That was